I went into the bathroom and brushed my teeth, and then came back and sat down at my computer. My parents dropped by my room telling me they were leaving. I started to look at the colleges and see what different courses were their preferences. My first high school counselor told me that colleges all looked for the hardest subjects. Anything in the math or science fields were always good choices for me to apply myself. I took her advice, and I had excelled in math, biology, and chemistry, and with the 3.87 GPA I was sure that I could get into a good college. I was looking at the University of Illinois at Springfield. It was a good college, and they had a great engineering program, which was one of my interests. I was also taking that SAT practice course online, and I was doing very well there. I was motivated by not wanting to be living in apartments and to be well off. Actually, in the last year my dad had been bringing in a lot of money, and he didn't have any college at all. But that didn't matter, he is still my dad, and I've always been proud of him, and now even more so. I looked at colleges, and I figured that I was going to look more at the public colleges because of the larger student body, which meant more resources for the college to draw from, and more opportunities for life after college, which is the whole purpose. I transferred some of my preferences into a spreadsheet, and looking at Illinois University was looking better and better. Since I had this new and more powerful computer, I might use some of that power and play one of the new games I had purchased recently. I was enjoying the survival horror genre now that I had a system that had the resources to handle the requirements. That wasted another hour or so, and I stood stretching and decided to grab a shower. I went into the bathroom, and I had to use the one that was in the upstairs hallway as I didn't have one of my own, but my parents had their own in their room, so this one was kind of like mine. Afterwards I put on a pullover blue shirt, and some jeans, and my now standard athletic shoes. I grabbed my brush off the top of the chest and stood in front of the mirror to brush out my hair that came down past my ears. Looking in the mirror, I was shocked and startled to not see me looking at me, but someone else dressed in a button-down shirt and khakis. I jumped back and looked behind me, and then back to the mirror, and the image was still there. I was frozen in fright, totally unable to move, scream, or do anything else other than look at that image looking at me. Then it changed, slowly but surely the clothes changed to that of a dress. An older, out-of-style light blue dress, but still very pretty. The hair grew longer and the face softened, but what was the most scary was the face never really changed, but now the figure was definitely that of a female. The eyes just stared at me. I moved my arm, but the figure in the mirror didn't move as I thought it should. I quickly looked behind me to maybe see something that would be reflecting in the mirror, but when I looked back, the figure was me. I moved my hand holding the brush, and the figure in the mirror moved. I stood there unable to move until I felt something, and realized that I had urinated in my pants. A fear, an unnamed fear, but a fear nonetheless, still held me. I snapped out of my petrified state and whispered, "Shit." I stood not wanting to sit anywhere, and untied my shoes, stepping out of them, thanking someone for not pissing in my shoes, but just on the outside of them. I slipped my jeans down, and then slipped off of my boxers and then socks. Carrying the items to the bathroom, dumped them into the tub, and then removing my shirt, which wasn't fouled, I put it on my bed, and then back to the bathroom and pushed my jeans and socks to the back of the tub. I rinsed off my body from my waist down, cursing myself for pissing my jeans. While I had plenty, I'd just throw these into the washer, and they would be fine. I dried off, and went back to my room, and redressed myself in shirt, socks, and shoes. I didn't want to look in the mirror again, and tried to avoid it as I moved in my room. I was very ashamed of myself at having done this, maybe because I thought that only babies and drunks pissed themselves. I grabbed my jeans and wrung them out and went to toss them in the washer in the basement, and used the new washer and dryer for the first time. I tossed in a pod, and started it and headed back upstairs. Halfway up the stairs it hit me. The girl in the mirror was the same one that I saw standing by my bed last night. So it wasn't a dream or a leftover from the movie. Fear turned to curiosity, and I had to know more. As I finished dressing, I didn't want to admit the truth to myself, and I damn sure wasn't going to tell anyone else. What the fuck was happening to me? This is 2024 and I don't believe in aliens, witches, the supernatural, Santa Claus, or the Easter Bunny. What the hell was the explanation? There had to be one. Maybe an image from my computer screen, but the monitor was shut off. Still, maybe someone passing on the street could have reflected off of the black monitor screen, or maybe off of the windows and then onto the mirror. Not looking at the mirror, I walked into my closet to grab a new pair of jeans, and what I saw there was not a vision, a reflection, or mind trick. There, hanging in plain sight, was a dress. An older, out-of-style light blue dress. Frozen again, but this time in more control as I looked down to my crotch to make sure that I wasn't repeating the waterworks. When I looked up to the dress again, I saw something else. The pair of shoes that she was wearing. I picked up the shoes off of the closet shelf, and took the dress off of the rod in the closet. I took these tangible items back to my bed. I put them on the bed, and looked at them even closer. I could see that the shoes were not new. The dress wasn't new. Both of them were from the past. Maybe they had been there all along, but no, I knew that they weren't there when I put my clothes in the closet 2 days ago. The whole interior of the house had been painted before we moved in, and people had been in here. I needed to know more about this house, as I was beginning to accept that something was happening to me in this house that I didn't understand. But where do I turn? I know that my parents left before I took the jeans out of my closet that I soiled, so they couldn't have put them in there. Maybe someone came in and put it in the closet when I was putting the first pair of jeans in the washer? I'll go and check the doors.